They know each other from the circuit, MMA circuit here in the United Kingdom. There's so much. The Griffiths accepted to the hotel from weigh-in from different rounds.
You feel like that. I want to talk trash on the who's in the
As Griffiths said, David Round, in person, really respect as a fighter. As a punch power, I feel though that I have cleaner, crisper.
We said he feels like he wants to utilize a clinch in there, utilize the uppercut. He feels like the steps are going to be highly important in the fight.
Forward, throw hard. Round said, I knew this way for the knockout. I also feel like that part.
David Round is the first to really have to bite down my mouthpiece to throw punches. He's coming in, knowing he's going to get hit. He's going to do the X-ray. You guys have the exact same mentality. I get hit so hard that he's going to hit me.
Round said, I'm going to use my heavy pressure forward punches. I know Griffiths will be back to throw a high volume of punches. That's down. We set Jeff.
Fans of London, we are set for the next fight tonight. Scheduled for 5-2 rounds. The light heavyweight division presented to you by Kings Sportsbook. First, fighting with the red corner. Tonight he wears blue. He's 5'8", 11 inches tall. His official weight, a neat 187 pounds. Tonight, he makes his Knuckle debut. Fighting out of Hartlepool, England. Here is Ash the Alpha Griffiths. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. He wears a white and black. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. His official weight, even 181 pounds. He is an MMA veteran of 41 fights. Holds a bare record of 1 victory and a single defeat.
Both fighters said to us, there's no way this goes the distance. Direction to the other and get almost left quite early. Touch hands. Fresh air temporarily hold the England Ash Griffiths. Go ahead from round. Short right hand. Now the uppercut from Griffiths in the clinch. This is the body. Slip out from David Round. The fight back to the center of the ring. For Griffiths with the right hand positions. Hands high and tight for Griffiths, trying to wait forward. Feints on the jab into the immediate clinch.
There's that clinch right there.
Right, clean. Listen, watch the back of the head, okay?
Griffiths being warned by Dan Mergliato. Watch punches to the back of the head.
Griffiths just looks like the bigger, stronger guy right now, so I can see him when he get in the clinch, wear his opponent down a little bit, and then start throwing punches.
Left hook, right hand for David Round on the entry. 40 seconds remaining, round number 1 of this bout at 185 pounds, and a big naked right hand lands from Griffiths. Right back comes David Round. Short right hand. There's the jab from Griffiths just off the mark. Left hook from Round. Uppercut to the body, right hand, overhand right. Knockdown number 1.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Up at 8 is Ash Griffiths. Final seconds, round number 1.
Let's see right here, he's going with Round's going to go for the finish.
Round, big uppercuts. Modified half tie plug. Off the ropes. We'll see if Mergliato counts it.
Get over the corner.
Mergliato says that is not a knockdown.
That was right after the bell. I heard the bell, then a knockdown.
So the rule is in this situation, it's not when the punch is landed, it's when the action of the punch begins. Bergliata saw the action of the punch after the bell. That is round number 1, no controversy there.
And is this right at the very end when you're not really sure if it was going to happen as far as the knockout being counted? But no, this was like the first knockout. That was a nice, clean right hand.
Listen for the bell. Now, Bergliata is saying the action of the punch starts after the bell.
Before the bell. Okay, seconds out.
Well, I'm not sure about that one, Sean.
On the line, gentlemen.
The difference is 10-8 versus 10-7 in favor of David Round. Sporting touch of hands,
Sean,
round number 2.
That shouldn't even matter the score. These two guys are not going to go for the score because they're just looking to knock each other out.
There's a left hook and an overhand right after Griffiths landed. David Round landed right back.
No strikes, no strikes, no strikes. All right, go. Ready? Knuckle up.
Now coming forward again. Off the 1-2, then the hook to the body. Big shots. That is a clean knockdown off the body shots.
Sean, really hard for all these MMA guys to not punch the guy once he's on the ground.
8. Hands up. Okay,
See Griffiths taking his mouthpiece out to get more air in his lungs. Knockdown number 3, and we are done. Game, set, match, David Round.
And that was a good job by Darren. You saw right before that, he let him go next time when he got it, but as soon as he fell down, not that great of punches, he's like, this is not necessary, there's no point in letting this go on. And right here you see this, the punches that started it as soon as Griffith just covers up. There's nothing you can do about that. You know it's going to go down. Lets it go a little bit more, but then a couple punches later, he just hits the ground again. So good job by Zimmer that he could tell that Griffiths didn't really want anymore.
Round's punches short and sharp. That's a great example, Chris. If in our sport of bare knuckle fighting, you don't have to throw huge punches to be effective. Short, tight, sharp, clean punches from David Round to the finish.
If you just touch somebody there, I mean, it didn't cut him open surprisingly, but if you just touch somebody, you're going to hurt them.
Ash Griffiths was very game. David Round just too much volume, too much accuracy, and ultimately too much power. Both said it would not go the distance. It absolutely did not go the distance. Here's Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Big Dan Bergliata, steps in and calls a stop to this fight at 40 seconds into round number 2. For your winner by TKO, the Gangster Prince of Wales, David One More Round.
Good start for David Round. Came in, did exactly what he wanted, threw a lot of punches, had a lot of volume. Got the victory, Sean.
You don't have to dislike your opponent. You can actually be friends with your opponent and still produce a very entertaining and indeed rugged fight. That's just what we saw in the light heavyweight division. An onslaught of punches to the finish. The winner by way of second round TKO, David Round defeats Ash Griffiths.
The world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, is live in the UK for BKFC Newcastle, Saturday, November 26th. In the main event, heavyweights clash as Mick Terrill attempts to continue his winning ways against the undefeated Steve the Panda Banks. In the co-main event, 2 UK standouts collide as Darren the Dazzler Hendry knuckles up with Anthony Holmes. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com. Welcome to the new BKFC app. Watch every live Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship pay-per-view event for only $4.99 per month. Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, still only $4.99 a month.
Tail of the tape for Steve Banks versus Coco Hammer.
And look at this, you have a huge height advantage, huge reach advantage for Steve Banks. That means Coco Hammer's gonna have to step in. He's gonna wanna land those big punches. Steve Banks, it's going to be his job to make Coco pay every time he steps forward.
From the United States, Steve Banks. 2-0 in bare knuckle, including 1-0 promotionally in bare knuckle fighting championship. Banks made his BKFC debut this past May. He defeated Akbar Karimi by way of second-round knockout. Banks, 20 fights in his pro MMA career, including one in Bellator. He's 33-6 in pro Muay Thai, 33-5-1 in pro kickboxing.
And Banks got up off the canvas to win that fight. Got hit early, got hurt, but didn't really ever seem like it fazed him at all. He seemed very experienced right there, very relaxed. Knows exactly what he has to do. It's a 5-round fight. He doesn't have to get it all back right away. Waited for the right time. Just a very experienced fighter, stays nice and relaxed, and that's a big part of this. When your head's in it, you're there. If you're anywhere else mentally, that's not going to be a good thing. But he looks like he's somebody who's always in the fight mentally. He looks like he's checking the referee for something. I've never seen that before. Making sure the referee doesn't have oil or Vaseline on him somewhere. Is that what he's doing, you think? I'm not sure.
It's a two-way check. Steve Banks, a big personality. One of the heaviest hitters in bare knuckle fighting championships, heavyweight division.
ท่านผู้ชมครับคู่นี้จะชกกันในรุ่น heavyweight 5 ยกละ 2 นาที Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is in the heavyweight division, brought to you by Fresh Digital, scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds. นักมวยในมุมน้ำเงิน The fight in the blue corner น้ำหนัก 127 กิโลสูง 177 weighing in at 127 kilograms, standing 177 centimeters tall. A professional mixed martial arts record of 10 wins and 4 defeats, 9 of those 10 wins coming via knockout. The current AUFC International Champion, มาจากประเทศอียิปต์ from Egypt, this is Coco Hammer! และคู่ต่อสู้ของเขาในมุมแดง and his opponent fighting in the red corner น้ำหนัก 125.7 กิโลสูง 195 weighing in at 125.7 kilograms, standing 195 centimeters tall. The former Muay Thai world champion มาจากสหรัฐอเมริกา from the United States of America, this is Steve Panda Banks! And your referee, Joel Kwong.
Steve Banks cleaning the ring.
Is he wearing dress shoes?
Steve Banks is a very accomplished fighter. I'm not convinced on those shoes nor socks.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
What was I saying about big personality for Steve Banks? Round number 1. White trunks for Steve Banks, black trunks for Coco Hammer.
I mean, Coco's just trying to lunge in there. He's got to be very, oh, geez, he's got to be careful. He's going to get hit.
Banks 6'5" to Hammer's 5'9" into the clinch. Short right hands landing from the Egyptian. Now Banks, half tie plum seized by the fighter from the United States. Here's the separation with difficulty from referee Joel Kwong.
These guys are definitely coming right after each other, but Coco Hammer's got to be careful. He's going to get countered with some uppercuts badly here if he's not careful.
On the counter, knockdown number 1, and Hammer flat on his stomach. Now to his knees.
He still looks hurt. I'm not sure if he's getting up.
Up before 10. Joel Kwong will not let this fight continue. Steve Banks now 2-0 in BKFC. He is definitely a name to watch in the heavyweight division.
What a flurry of action right there. You knew something was going to happen. Somebody was going to get caught with the way they were throwing punches. It's coming right after each other the entire time, throwing heavy bombs the entire time. You knew it was just a matter of time till somebody got caught, and there it was. Like I said, Coco Hammer just having his hands wide open, throwing punches. You can't do that here. You get hit with one punch, you're going to get knocked out. That's what happened.
Who needs boxing shoes? Not Steve Banks. In the dress shoes, the dress socks, and he records the first round KO.
Formal event for him, maybe. I'm not real sure, but man, he looks emotional right now. Not sure what's going on, but it looks like he's, hopefully we'll hear what's going on. Seems very emotional at this point. Maybe he lost his shoes and he didn't have anything. I'm not sure what happened. Had to wear his dress shoes to the fight.
A pouring of emotion for the victor, Steve Banks. Here's Mark Abbott.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 53 seconds, we have a winner by technical knockout. In the red corner, Steve Panda Banks.
Steve Banks moves to 2-0, Sean, showing heavy hands right now. Is going to be a force to contend with, I feel like, with just his ability, his experience, and his hard-hitting hands.
The world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, is live in the UK for BKFC Newcastle, Saturday, November 26th. In the main event, heavyweights clash as Mick Terrill attempts to continue his winning ways against the undefeated Steve the Panda Banks. In the co-main event, two UK standouts collide as Darren the Dazzler Hendry knuckles up with Anthony Holmes. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com. Welcome to the new BKFC app. Watch every live Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship pay-per-view event for only $4.99 per month. Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live Bare Knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, still only $4.99 a month.
Mick Terrill versus Sam Shoemaker. You see our tale of the tape. It is presented by Pressing Tools.
Not much different here, Sean. Looks like a slight reach advantage for Mick Terrill. A little bit of a weight advantage, 17 pounds, so that's only going to come into play if there's a lot of clinch work going on, which we're not anticipating here.
Our tale of the bet is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
I mean, fairly close. Mick Terrill almost a 2-1 favorite, but unbelievable amount of money being bet on Mick Terrill compared to Sam Shoemaker. All the people are picking Mick Terrill. Almost all the fighters and all the money are going towards Mick Terrill here, Sean.
4 wins in BKFC for Sam Shoemaker, including in December 2020 when he defeated Bobo O'Bannon by first-round TKO.
And you can see he's heavy-handed right there. That was the jab, and Bobo is extremely tough. This was a fight right here where we said Sam Shoemaker's been showing too much skill. He's not finishing fights. And he said, okay, that's what you think about me? I'm going to come out here and wreck this guy because Bobo's been tough in the past. So right in here, Sam Shoemaker did exactly what he was asked to do. He came out here and he finished the fight. Throwing nothing but hard punches, throwing bombs, not trying to be a technical boxer, trying to be a brawler. Showed it right there. He has the ability to take people out.
This is bout number 9 in BKFC for Sam Shoemaker. He's found success as well in pro boxing, where he holds a record of 5-1. In our fighter meeting, Shoemaker told us he has really been focused on becoming a more technical striker, really working off of the jab.
Yeah, so much so he wants to stay outside, use that jab for his setup. Feels like he can't let his opponent start to pressure him. He wants to keep him away, not let him get inside.
Shoemaker also told us I have to create openings off of my jab. When I see those openings, land big, powerful, straight right hands. Stay on the outside, explode to the inside, right back out. What I cannot do, Shoemaker told us, is allow Mick Terrill to dominate with an inside fight.
Absolutely. It seems weird because Mick Terrill actually has a little bit of a reach advantage. So you think he'd be the one wanting to stay outside, but Sam feels like he's going to do his best work outside, landing good punches, pepper his opponent, very confident in his ability to box this fight.
Big ovation for Mick Terrill in his home nation, England. He's from North Shields in the north of this great country. This is bare knuckle bout number 8 in his second promotionally in BKFC. Terrill has also had 37 combined pro Muay Thai and kickboxing bouts. In training, Terrill told us, I've really been working on my clinch. 2 small punches, 1 big punch, and utilize the clinch if Shoemaker walks in.
Well, Mick Terrill's really excited. He wasn't injured at all this time, had a lot of problems before the last time he fought for us. Feels like his opponent may be a little slow, a little robotic, wants to capitalize on that, land his big punches in between those slow robotic movements.
Mick Terrill extremely clear-eyed and laying out his strategy for this heavyweight bout. He said in the first round, I'm going to fill out Shoemaker. In the second round, I'm going to start finding openings. If we get to the third round, I am really turning up the pressure.
The one thing he said he doesn't want to do, he doesn't want to stand right in front of his opponent and trade with him.
Again, Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for the next fight of the night, scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the heavyweight division, presented to you by Crescent Tools. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, tonight he wears black trimmed in the proud colors of the United States of America. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall. His official weight, an even 234 pounds. His bare knuckle record stands at 4 victories, opposite 3 defeats, with 1 fight even. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a former 2-time BKFC World Heavyweight Title Challenger. Fighting out of Gravois Mills, Missouri, USA. Here is Sam, the Hillbilly Hammer Shoemaker. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight, he wears white. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall. His official weight, 251.6 pounds. His impressive bare knuckle record stands at 6 victories, opposite a single defeat. Fighting out of North Shields, England, here is Mick Terrill. And our referee in charge of the action, Big Dan Mergliata.
Mick Terrill said, I really respect the powerful right hand of Sam Shoemaker, but I know he's going to load up looking for the 1-punch knockout.
All right, total line.
I have to
Ready?
be busy.
Ready? Buckle up.
Round number 1. White trunks for the Englishman, Mick Terrill. Red, white, and blue trunks for the American, Sam Shoemaker. Feint on the jab to the body from Terrill.
And this one feels like they're really wanting to measure each other out because they're just going to take 1 punch for the other one to get knocked out.
Zero animosity between these 2 fighters. Both really respect each other, especially respect each other's.
Buckle up.
As he said he would, this is an extremely measured start from Mick Terrill. Slight forward pressure from Terrill. Left hook is Shoemaker threw that right hand. Another punch landed from either man. It's on the jab to the body from Shoemaker. 65 seconds remaining, round number 1. Jab from Shoemaker knocked down. Big jab, upper right hand, uppercut on the right hand, and down goes Sam Shoemaker.
And you can see the confidence right now just swelling in Mick Terrill.
Shoemaker up at 9. Telling Dan Mergliata he wants to continue. We'll see how hard now Terrill goes for the finish. We talked about patience in round 1. He might not show patience here. Underhook from Shoemaker. 30 seconds now to go in round 1. Feint on the level change from Terrill. Feint on the right hand from Shoemaker. Shoemaker has yet to really let his right hand go from range.
I feel like Mick Terrill has learned that if he pushes Sam Shoemaker back, he's not worried about the right hand anymore. Sam Shoemaker has to be coming forward to land that big punch.
Right hand misses from Terrill, but it allows the entry. There's a big right hand, and down goes Sam Shoemaker for the second time in round 1.
6, 7, 8. It's
not getting up.
9, 10.
There is 10, and there is a huge win in the heavyweight division for Mick Terrill. Now 7-1 in bare knuckle.
Sean, it just looked like when he was able to push his opponent backwards, he wasn't fearing that power anymore. Not many people can come backwards and land that big right hand. And there it was. It's just a little punch right there. I mean, Mick Terrill has real power. When he hit you, it didn't even look like he laid it clean, but it still did the job. Here's that second knockdown, I should say. He talked about working on that clinch, utilize it, and look at that. It didn't take much. He landed a small little right hand right there, and that's all it took. Good body punch right there by Terrill, and that just, when you're that heavy-handed, you hit somebody, that does the trick.
It's so easy to talk about the power and the punches of heavyweights. What about the accuracy of Mick Terrill? That was pinpoint accuracy as well as massive thud and power.
And I think that's more what it was, Sean. It was where he hit Sam Shoemaker, not how he hit him, because he didn't look like it was the greatest shot, but when he hit him, it hurt him each time.
Huge disappointment for Sam Shoemaker and a huge win for Mick Terrill. We go to Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Big Dan Mergliata, reaches the count of 10 at 1 minute 59 seconds into round number 1 for your winner by KO, Mick Terrill.
And Sean, that was the debut he wanted to have, didn't have it, but he has a great fight underneath his belt right now for us. He's gonna be in contention for the heavyweight title, I feel, at some point, if we could just get this guy a few more fights.
Very measured start from both men, and then Terrill came forward and started to land and landed big. Shoemaker down in round number 1, up and then down and could not get up when Dan Mergliata reached the count of 10. Ferocious with accuracy for Mick Terrill. Victorious by way of first round KO, Mick Terrill defeats Sam Shoemaker.
The world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, is live in the UK for BKFC Newcastle, Saturday, November 26th. In the main event, heavyweights clash as Mick Terrill attempts to continue his winning ways against the undefeated Steve the Panda Banks. In the co-main event, 2 UK standouts collide as Darren the Dazzler Hendry knuckles up with Anthony Holmes. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com. Welcome to the new BKFC app. Watch every live Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship pay-per-view event for only $4.99 per month. Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live Bare Knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, still only $4.99 a month.
In the light heavyweight division, Danny Christie versus Terry Brazier.
Everything here very even, Sean, except for it's like about a 3.5-inch reach advantage for Terry Brazier. You know Danny Christie looks calm, cool, collected, but he's going to have to close that gap. And that's where Terry Brazier has the idea of keeping his opponent at bay.
Our tale of the bet is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Fairly even right here. I mean, Terry Brazier is a slight favorite, but man, all the money right now is being thrown on Danny Christensen. All the people are throwing bets. All the money's being thrown on there. Sean, I mean, like I said, we established I'm not a financial planner, but if I was, the first thing I'd tell you is if you can find ways to make money while entertaining yourself, you have to do that. Make this, you know, get on there, put Knuckles, the code in, and you're going to get $100. That's a no-brainer.
This is the bare knuckle debut for Terry Brazier. 11-4 in his pro MMA career. He's fought 3 times in Bellator. He was a paratrooper in the British Army. Usually, Chris, when we ask fighters, how would you describe your style? They say I'm well-rounded. Brazier said, oh, I'm an absolute brawler. I am not technical in any way.
Not technical brawler, but he said he's very aggressive. Been working on just utilizing his hands right now, getting involved with the clinch, bullying his opponent and pushing him around.
Brazier said, I'm all about forward pressure. I want to put my opponent, Danny Christie, against the ropes, implement dirty boxing, continually close distance, and continually land heavy to his body.
Stay into that pocket, get in the mid-range. That's where he wants to be. He doesn't want to stay outside. He doesn't want to turn this into a boxing match. It's like one of his keys is he's able to adapt out there in the ring. He's going to have to utilize that in this fight.
Brazier said, Danny Christie legitimately has punching power, but I cannot let him work off of his front foot. I have to keep moving forward, make him move backwards. Danny Christie is now set for his pro combat sports debut. He's had 19 amateur boxing bouts, describes himself as a boxer-puncher, and really prides himself on having a high ring IQ.
Said he wants to get out there, analyze his opponent, read what his opponent's going to do, and then decide how he's going to fight. The main thing, though, he has to stay calm, he has to stay relaxed, and it doesn't seem like a problem for this guy.
Christie said, I'm going to continually adapt during this fight. I expect a very fast start off the scratch line from Terry Brazier. I actually, with my style, prefer when fighters come to me. What I don't want to do is have to chase Terry Brazier around the ring.
Doesn't feel like that's going to be the problem, but the main thing, he said he has to use this to set up. All he's trying to do is set up that big right hand. He feels if he lands that, fight's over. But everything he's going to do is be about setting up that right hand.
Christie also told us, I know Brazier is going to throw a lot. I feel, though, that after he throws punches, he leaves his hands down. It's in that transition where I can land punches, but I cannot force anything.
Was really impressed with his ability just to stay nice, calm, cool, collected. Didn't say that much, but those are the dangerous guys. Those are the ones that scare me, Sean. I don't want to mess with those guys who are so calm and cool, collected like he was.
We go to Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for the next fight of the night. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Presented to you by Skill House, the movie, starring 50 Cent and Bryce Hall. How far would you go for clout? Introducing to you first. Fighting out of the red corner, tonight he wears black and gold. He stands at even 6 feet tall. His official weight, an even 181 pounds. He holds an MMA record of 11 victories opposite 4 defeats, and tonight makes his bare knuckle debut. Fighting out of London, England, here is Terry the Dominator Brazier. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight he wears white and silver. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, his official weight an even 182 pounds. Tonight he also makes his bare knuckle debut. Fighting out of Carlisle, England, here is Danny the Bastard Christie. And our referee in charge of the action, Mike Belgrave.
The self-described brawler and Terry Brazier versus the self-described boxer, puncher, and Danny Christie. Both fighters up to scratch. The bell, round number 1. Quick jab off of the scratch line for Danny Christie. He's in the white trunks, black trunks for Terry Brazier. Brazier now big to the body. Left hand, another left hand from Brazier. Brazier coming forward again off the right hand. See the feint from Brazier, the head movement. There's the jab right back from Danny Christie. Christie on the right hand. To the clinch, double underhooks and the turn from Terry Brazier. Saw a bit of that 15 pro fight MMA experience from Brazier. The double unders and the turn.
Brazier using a lot of energy to do that, though. That works out great if you knock him out in the first round, but if it goes on, sometimes you get tired.
Half-time plumb down snatched by Brazier. Duck under from Christie in the turn. Mike Belgrave, that's a soft warning to Terry Brazier. Wow. So much from soft warning, skipping the soft and the hard warning right to 1-point deduction. Wow. Belgrave saying a backhand back of the fist, taking a point away from Terry Brazier.
That's pretty quick for that call. I mean, they're in there, they're in the mix. Usually you get a warning in that one, Sean.
As the great boxing referee Jack Reese describes, silent warning, which is a glare, soft warning, hard warning point. Belgrave going immediately to a 1-point deduction. And Lee goes back with the fist shot.
Sean, we haven't had many fights going the distance, so probably won't make a difference, but we'll see.
It's a stiff jab from Christie. Oh, big left hand from Christie.
That's a great job right now by Brazier, just turning his opponent, pushing him against the fence. He's got to make this a dirty, ugly fight right now.
Brazier on the underhook on the turn. Jab right back from Christie on the reset for Mike Belgrave. 15 seconds remaining, round number 1.
Brazier staying where he doesn't want to be on the outside right now. He needs to work his way inside, in that mid-range, in the pocket.
Right hand to the body just before the bell, the left hand late. That ends round number 1. So if you give that round to Danny Christie, it's 10-8. If you give it to Brazier, it's 9-9.
Okay, and they're going to show you right now the backhand. It was a little backhand, but not that big of a deal, I didn't think. And here's that left hand. I thought there was a left hand. Maybe that wasn't the left hand, so. Still some good work right there being done by both guys. Christie did a good job of landing some punches for that. Brazier looked like he was a little rock, grabbed his opponent and turned him over. Got where he needed to be. He needs to do more of that. Get in that mid-range. Stay in the pocket. Don't stand on the outside where your opponent has the advantage.
Seconds out called. Round number 2 coming up.
Toe the line. Back behind the line. Back behind the line. Knuckle up.
To the second round we go. Danny Christie started round 1 with a jab. He starts off from scratch round 2 with a jab. Another hard jab from Christie. Sat down on that. Naked right hand lands for Brazier. Brazier cut. Bridge of his nose. Big shots on the entry. There's the double unders, the single under in the turn. Now half-time plumb snatched by Terry Brazier. Right uppercut.
And that's what Brazier needs to be, right on the inside. Put his chest on his opponent's, his head, his chest, and dispel punches.
Brazier off the jab. Christie off the 1-2 entry. Counter right hand from Terry Brazier. Time called by Mike Belgrave.
Oh, nasty cut, looks like.
That is a huge cut on the face of Danny Christie. See the cuts in the forehead? Thumbs up from the Chief Medical Officer, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, Dr. Don Muzi.
Let's see what that does to Christie. Sometimes it gets a sense of urgency. I got to end this fight now. I'm bleeding bad. Sometimes you go, okay, I'm fine, relax, take your time.
The chancery position held by Christie.
Another backhand right there.
Belgrave talking to both fighters, no point deduction. Right hand, big left hand lands for Brazier.
A lot more punches being landed by Brazier.
Another 1 point deduction for an illegal back fist thrown by Terry Brazier. So he's thrown 3 and he's been deducted 2 points. One in round 1, here in round 2, a point deduction. Belgrave just told Brazier to throw it again, disqualifying you, ending the fight.
I thought they usually gave a 2 point and then disqualification. Brazier doesn't need to worry about these back fists right now. He needs to get inside and do work just like he is right now. This is where he wants to stay.
Right hand to the body, half-time plumb snatched by Brazier. Triple jab for Brazier. Time called by Mike Belgrave.
Both these guys are a bloody mess right now, Sean.
Again, Dr. Don Musi. See, that's a lid cut.
Yeah, that's where they got to be careful on the lid. They don't like that to be in that spot right there.
Cutting Brazier's left eyelid. Final seconds, round number 2. That is the end of the second round.
And right here, we're going to see where that cut on Christie's face came from, I believe. Yep, it was just a jab, Sean. We've seen that many times. People think that jabs can't do much. They do a lot in this round.
Yeah, use your shoulder jab. I'm telling you, it's hurting. It was hurt 2 or 3 times.
There's that back fist once again. I think he threw it a couple times in that round. Yeah. I think that was the first time he did it because the referee didn't step in and take a point. He threw 2 back fists in that one. Sean, once again, we talk about guys with MMA backgrounds. Sometimes people hit the ground and they throw a punch. Sometimes they're used to being able to throw a back fist. You can get by with that once. It's usually a second, third time that they're going to really hammer you right now, and that's what happened there.
If you've seen both rounds for Terry Brazier, right now you have this 18-18. You would have 2 9-9 rounds. If you see both rounds for Danny Christie, you would have it 20-16. Point deduction in rounds 1 and 2. Big left hand on the entry for Danny Christie. Separation for Mike Belgrave. 2 cuts down the face of Danny Christie. He's just been cut outside of his right brow. Forehead cut open in round number 2. Brazier with that lid cut looked at by Dr. Don Musi, closing seconds of the second round. 25 remaining here in round 3. 3 off the jab for Christie. Brazier on the underhook. This is when Brazier, I believe, Chris has been doing his best work in this fight. And he's gone hard with that left hand on the turn and down. Ruled a knockdown correctly by Mike Belgrave. Caught in the ropes.
Brazier's still hurt. He's hurt bad right now. Christie needs to jump all over him right now if he has the ability to.
Brazier just took his mouthpiece out. Brazier says he wants to continue. Belgrave will let him. There's the jab from Christie.
And that guy
could be near. Big shot, says the left hand, the right hand. Mike Belgrave taking a really close look.
Got to put his hands up. He might want to jump in there right now because this isn't going to get any better.
Huge shots. That is the end. Victory for Danny Christie.
I mean, Brazier was hurt the entire time. Christie did the exact right thing. He jumped all over a wounded opponent.
Chris, the irony of this fight is Brazier was absolutely doing his best work in the clinch, and yet on the exit of the final clinch of the fight is when he was caught and dropped by Danny Christie.
Just landed the profile. I think it was a left hook. I'm going to have to watch it again right here. Here's that in the mix right there. Boom! Look at that left hand. Perfectly thrown. That did all the damage. Here's the end of the fight, it looks like, just continuing the onslaught, because you could tell Terry Brazier was hurt. Just too tough for his own good, didn't want to go down. The referee seen enough, he knew that he was hurt.
Terry Brazier is a really talented fighter. Again, 11-4 in his pro MMA career, a paratrooper in the British Army. He tried to implement the brawl. He's favored what he told us, non-technical fighting style. He sells himself short because he definitely has technique behind all of that aggression.
I mean, and look at Danny Christie's face. Danny Christie's face is a mess as well. Look at Brazier landed 84 punches, 58%, threw a lot of punches right there, so he did a great job. Look at that, he landed a lot more head strikes, 73 at a 54%, did fantastic right there. He just got caught with a good punch right there. He kept throwing those back fists. Clinch strikes right there, had the huge advantage, almost 2-1 for Brazier. And look at that landing percentage, 85, phenomenal.
At 37 years old in his pro combat sports debut, Danny Christie showing his toughness, showing his skill, showing his class. Here's Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Mike Belgrave, steps in and calls a stop to this fight at 1 minute 22 seconds into round number 3 for your winner by TKO, Danny the Bastard Christie.
Sean, I love that fight for Danny Christie. He went through some adversity, got cut open, had to deal with some problems, but still came out the other end and got stronger as the fight went on.
Danny Christie said, I will continue to adapt in this fight. He was losing in the clinch against Terry Brazier, is where Brazier was doing his best work. He was winning in the open spaces. He adapted, he exited the clinch, landed that right hand for knockdown number 1, and that set forth the victory. The winner, by way of TKO, Danny Christie defeats Terry Brazier.
The world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, is live in the UK for BKFC Newcastle, Saturday, November 26th. In the main event, heavyweights clash as Mick Terrill attempts to continue his winning ways against the undefeated Steve the Panda Banks. In the co-main event, 2 UK standouts collide as Darren the Dazzler Hendry knuckles up with Anthony Holmes. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com. Welcome to the new BKFC app. Watch every live Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship pay-per-view event for only $4.99 per month. Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live Bare Knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, still only $4.99 a month.
Tonight's Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is back in the United Kingdom, coming to you this evening from the north of England in Newcastle, a vibrant city known for its industrial heritage, thriving nightlife, and absolute passion for sports. It's BKFC UK, and we will open with 3 preliminary bouts. Then at the top of the hour, our main card will begin live on the BKFC app. Our co-main event, Anthony Holmes versus Darren Hendry for the inaugural BKFC Cruiserweight Championship. And this evening's main event, Mick Terrill versus Steve Banks in a BKFC Heavyweight title eliminator. Hey everyone, with Chris Lights Out Lytle, I'm Sean Wheelock. The BKFC app gives you access to tonight's main card, which begins top of the hour from Newcastle. It also gives you access to every single upcoming live Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship event, plus the full BKFC archives, where you can see Chris Lights Out Lytle's victories at BKFC's 2 and 4. It costs just $4.99 per month.
Unbelievable, Sean. $4.99 a month. If you don't have this and you love combative sports, something's wrong with you.
Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, of course, made our debut in the United Kingdom in August. We were at London's famed Wembley Arena. Chris, you made your debut in the sport of bare knuckle in England as well.
Yeah, Sean, the reemergence of bare knuckle has started in England, and I think that's why they have so many good fighters and an intelligent, very well-educated crowd that really loves and appreciates that sport.
Tonight's fight odds are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
A lot of money to be made out here. You can see a lot of big favorites. The one that really jumps out at me, though, is the main event. Mick Terrill at -155. We've got a lot of experience, a lot of power. I have to like this guy. I think that's where I put my money.
When you make your first deposit of $5 or more, you will receive a free $50 bet. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and enter promo code BKFC UK to play now. Crescent Tools brings you the number for our opening bout of the evening. In the heavyweight division, Faulkner versus Daniel Robson.
You can see here, Sean, very similar in both categories. A little bit of height reach, about 3.5 inches right there of an advantage right there for Robson. That might be a factor. Fist size also very different here, 5 centimeters. Let's see if Robson can land that big paw on the face of Aggie.
You're with us live worldwide. This is our Freeview 3 preliminary fights coming your way. And again, a reminder at the top of the hour, our main card begins from Walker Activity Dome in Newcastle, England. The way to watch our main card is on the BKFC app. Daniel Robson from Sheffield. This is his BKFC debut, 4-2. His overall record in the sport of bare knuckle.
And Sean, 6 fights is quite a bit of experience for bare knuckles, so I'd like to see this guy come out. Let's see, maybe he has quite a bit of experience there, so that should show early on. You should be able to tell if this guy is really comfortable, used to it. He has been hit by a bare knuckle, so that makes a big difference sometimes.
This is the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debut for Faulkner. He's from Egremont. 2-0 in the sport of bare knuckle, 1-0 in professional mixed martial arts.
Could be a big difference right there with the 1-0 in MMA. That shows that he is well versed in the clinch. That might be a difference if he gets in bad situation. He might push it into the inner fighting, clinch, dirty boxing. That could be an advantage for him. We'll see.
Bout number 1 of 10, BKFC UK.
Fighting on the red corner, tonight he wears black and gold. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall. His official weight, 242.1 pounds. His bare knuckle record stands at 4 victories opposite 2 defeats. Fighting out of Sheffield, England, by way of Durham, England. Here is Daniel Rampage Robson. And across the ring, his opponent, fighting on the blue corner. Tonight he wears black and white. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. His official weight, 236.3 pounds. He holds an undefeated bare knuckle record at 2-0. Fighting out of Egremont, Cumbria, England. Here is Faulkner. And our referee in charge of the action, Preshow.
This and all bouts tonight are scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds and are scored by 3 judges assigned by the ISKA on the 10-point must system. Our second time for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship in the United Kingdom, our debut in the great city of Newcastle, England. We'll open heavyweights, Aggie Faulkner versus Daniel Robson. Both fighters now being called up to scratch by referee Chris Batcheldor. Round number 1. Black and white trunks for Aggie Faulkner. Black and gold trunks for Daniel Robson. Big swings from both men to the inside. Taking a backward step is Robson. Big uppercuts, counter overhand right after Robson landed, then Faulkner. Down goes Aggie Faulkner.
And Faulkner just tossed his opponent right there.
We'll see how that's ruled by referee Chris Batcheldor. Ruled as the second slip. Big swings, another uppercut. Twice you see Robson down. Here in round number 1, both times ruled a slip, and these are big shots being landed now. From the mid-range, there's the uppercut. Robson takes a step back. More forward pressure from Aggie Faulkner. And we'll see how that's ruled by referee Chris Batcheldor. Slip number 3. Hard warning now to Faulkner from Batcheldor. Saying a punch to the back of the head.
I feel like he did that for swinging on the opponent while he was on the ground, Sean.
Overhand right, and that is a clean knockdown.
And you can see right now, Robson just seems overwhelmed right now. Faulkner's throwing him around, hitting him with hard punches the entire time. I don't think he's getting up.
The count of 10 reached, and the win, just like that in round number 1. For Aggie Faulkner in his BKFC debut.
And Sean, you could just see right there the way Faulkner came out. He was manhandling his opponent. That gets into your head sometimes. Robson getting pushed around, thrown to the canvas several times. Sometimes you're just like, man, this guy's bigger than me, stronger than me. How am I going to beat this guy? Looked like mentally that might have been on the mind of Robson right there. That's the way you want to come out. If you're Aggie Faulkner, you want to come out and assert right away. You're the dominant factor right there. You can get in somebody's head sometimes like that when you continue to push them around, throw them to the canvas. That's a tactic that people use sometimes. Some people might consider it dirty, but hey, it's a fight.
3 slips ruled, and then the clean knockdown. Daniel Robson could not beat the count of 10 from referee Chris Batcheldor. Aggie Faulkner now 1-0 in BKFC, 3-0 overall in the sport of bare knuckle.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Chris Batcheldor, reaches the count of 10 at 1 minute 17 seconds into round number 1. For your winner by KO and still undefeated, Aggie Faulkner.
Dominant performance for Aggie Faulkner right there. To see him fight for us again. Looks like he has the right attitude. 3-0 right now. Great start to his career.
Aggie Faulkner found his range, and that was in the mid-range, continually landing those heavy right uppercuts. Constant forward pressure, making Robson play all defense. You see the big swings from the outside from Robson, But no answer from that mid-range and indeed inside pressure and clean punching power of Agni Faulkner. The rear right uppercuts just continued to land. The winner by way of first round knockout, Agni Faulkner defeats Daniel Robson.
The new BKFC app. Watch every live Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship pay-per-view event for only $4.99 per month. Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, still only $4.99 a month.
To the women's flyweight division we go. Matilda Wilson versus Melanie Shaw. The numbers presented by Crescent Tools.
You see here, Sean, everything very similar except for the height. Melanie Shaw has a 4-inch height advantage that could be utilized positively, but sometimes people like fighting a taller opponent. It's harder for them to slip underneath those overhands and those hooks.
This is the BKFC and indeed Pro Combat Sports debut for the fighter from Birmingham, England, Melanie Shaw. She claims 15 fight experience and unsanctioned bare knuckle bouts.
Interesting claim, Sean. Sometimes, sometimes those turn to be interesting when you watch the fight. You know, it's like, what exactly does that mean, unsanctioned? Are those street fights? Are they really fights that were put on underground? Nobody really knows what that means.
The Swede, Matilda Wilson from Stockholm. This is her BKFC debut. 1-0 in the sport of bare knuckle. In February of this year, Matilda Wilson fought in the first sanctioned women's bare knuckle bout of the modern era in the sport of bare knuckle here in the United Kingdom. She defeated Taylor Reeves by first round TKO. Later on this card in the welterweight division, Wilson's husband, the Englishman Liam Wilson, will face Will Cairns. And with that, Matilda and Liam Wilson will join Britain Hart Beltran and Joey Beltran as the only other married couple to fight in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. And Chris, they're the first married couple to fight on the same card.
That's pretty amazing. Let's see if Wilson here, I'm sure she's really gonna hope to do nearly half as well as Britain Hart Beltran. She has been phenomenal for us and just a tough, gritty fighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for the next fight of the night, scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the women's flyweight division, presented to you by Lions Not Sheep Apparel. Introducing you first, fighting out of the red corner, tonight she wears black. She stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, her official weight, an even 125 pounds. Tonight, she makes her BKFC debut. Fighting out of Birmingham, England, here is Melanie Shaw. And across the ring, her opponent, fighting out the blue corner. Tonight, she wears black and orange. She stands 5 feet 3 inches tall, her official weight, 125.2 pounds. She holds an undefeated bare knuckle record at 1-0, fighting out of Stockholm, Sweden. Here is the first half of the bare knuckle couple, Matilda Wilson. And our referee in charge of the action, Alan Jackson.
Liam Wilson in the corner of his wife. Matilda Wilson plans on cornering her husband Liam later in this card. Round number 1. Black and orange for the Swede Matilda Wilson. Black trunks for the English woman, Melanie Shaw. Shaw, continual naked right hands off the scratch line. Another right hand lands for Melanie Shaw. Counter right hand for Matilda Wilson. Heavy forward pressure now into the clinch from Shaw.
And Shaw just coming straight forward, not giving her opponent any respect.
Quick separation from referee Alan Jackson, right back to it. Fighting off her back foot is Matilda Wilson. Into the clinch again comes Melanie Shaw. Now to the body. Getting separation from Jackson, keeping this women's 125-pound bout moving. Continual naked right hands being thrown by Shaw without the jab setup. Again, the clinch.
Shaw,
110 remaining, round 1.
Shaw just wants to get in and throw power. It doesn't matter to her. She's coming straight forward. Look at determination on her face. It doesn't seem to bother her when she gets hit. She just wants to get her punches off.
Constant right hands being thrown and landed by Shaw. Again, pushing back Matilda Wilson.
I mean, it almost looks like her left hand is injured. I don't see how that could be the case so early right now. She just wants to throw that lead right hand.
There's the counter left hand throwing naked from Wilson from the southpaw stance. Again, Melanie Shaw entering the clinch. Overhook being held by Wilson, but Shaw throwing with the free left hand to the body. Another separation from referee Alan Jackson.
You could tell Wilson is having some trouble with the pressure right now that Shaw's continuing to put on her.
Counter left hand, then Wilson backs off. To your point, Chris, constant forward pressure to this point in the fight from Melanie Shaw. Final seconds, round number 1. Again into the clinch, the overhook. Caught by Wilson. Shaw continuing to throw to the body, throws to the bell. Next stop, round 2.
Shaw doing a good job of putting that pressure on, but she appears to be physically stronger than her opponent right now. So she gets inside, she's handling her, pushing around. She looks like she's wearing Wilson down a little bit. Wilson's gonna have to figure out how to deal with this pressure. Maybe a little rock back where she draws her opponent in, rocks back, and comes back with hard, powerful punches, and then moves. You got to use lateral movement after that. You can't back straight up like she's doing right now. It's a little bit of that action. There's that straightforward pressure that we see from Shaw right there. Getting inside, pushing her opponent. That head, look at that. Pushing your opponent's head, determining where it goes. It's very frustrating as a fighter being pushed around like that.
Seconds out called. Both fighters back up to scratch. Round number 2. Again, immediate forward pressure off the scratch line from Shaw with the right hand.
And if I'm Wilson, I'm thinking at some point you might have to start pushing Shaw backwards. Let's see if she can fight coming off her back foot.
Separation with some difficulty from referee Alan Jackson. And the entry with the naked right hand. Shaw not throwing the jab, but she is continually bombing that right hand from the orthodox stance.
I would keep doing it too until my opponent shows that they can stop it. And so far, Wilson has not shown that she can stop that punch.
Again, the entry on the right hand, now a left hand into the clinch from Shaw. Back to the center circle. Theme of this fight to this point with 60 seconds remaining, round number 2. Constant forward pressure from Shaw.
And when they're both broken up, when they're far away, I'm thinking Wilson needs to step in with that straight left down the pipe. Get off first. Land that straight punch. She's circling the correct direction. She just needs to step in and land that big left hand.
Quick separation again from referee Alan Jackson. Hands high and tight for Shaw, again coming forward. The Swede Matilda Wilson staying on the outside. Again the entry right hand. That turns Wilson. 25 seconds remaining, round number 2.
See, Wilson needs to step outside. There you go. Step in and throw that left hand.
Wilson simply not throwing, just accepting the clinch, waiting for the break from Jackson. Final seconds of this second round. Long right jab. That is the end of round 2.
And here's a lot of that good inside work being done. Both girls landing some shots right here. Nothing too meaningful, but just staying busy the entire time. And there's right there, Shaw just continuing to press forward, pushing her opponent around. Sometimes that plays big with the judges. Wilson did have some good counters in here. She can figure out a little bit. I think she'll be all right. She just has to tweak a few things. I think she could really be effective in this fight. She just has to learn how to deal with this constant forward pressure, make Shaw pay, and then don't be there to be pushed back into the ropes. Lateral movement.
Matilda Wilson versus Melanie Shaw, women's 125-pound division, round number 3.
See, once again, some good counters being done, but I'd like to see her stepping forward. Wilson right there, stepping forward and landing that straight left right down the pipe.
Referee Alan Jackson, this is his bare knuckle fighting championship debut as a referee. Being very quick on the separation, just like that on cue.
They're having some active work going on there, but he's having none of it.
Big to the body from Shaw. Wilson trying to throw to the head.
And you can see just from the marks on the face that Shaw's just trying to walk through all these punches, but she's paying a price for it. There we go. That's exactly what Wilson needs to be doing. She needs to be stepping forward, landing those left hands.
Wilson trying to throw the 1-2 from the southpaw stance. Shaw, there's the 1-2. Rare jab in this fight for Melanie Shaw. With the power right hand right behind it. 50 seconds remaining, round 3. Get into the clinch. Alan Jackson telling both Wilson and Shaw, listen, you have to break when I say break. Abrasions all over the face of Melanie Shaw. And Chris, that's from that constant forward pressure. This is Shaw's game.
Yeah, I mean, it works when you're able to push it back, but you do pay the price. When you get inside, you need to make sure you maximize, like just right in that situation right here. She needs to continue to punch on the inside because you're paying the price for getting in there.
Very heavy swelling now around Shaw's left eye. Closing seconds, round 3. Next up, the 4th round.
And both fighters right now have kind of made their choices how they're going to fight this fight. Wilson's going to continue trying to counter. Shaw's going to continue to press forward. It'll be interesting to see what the judges are thinking. Who's winning this fight? Is it the person who's continuing to press forward, or is it the person doing the damage? And you can just see, look at those. Those are some nice clean shots being landed by Wilson. It would be nice to see if she would try and push her opponent backwards a few times and see what that does. But Shaw looks like she is getting pretty cut up right here.
That's confirmation of what I spoke about at the end of round 3, the heavy swelling in and around Melanie Shaw's left eye.
I know it sounds easy what we're saying, you need to push your opponent backward, but when you have somebody like Shaw coming straight forward, throwing hard punches, it's very difficult, Sean.
To the 4th round we go. All 4 rounds have started the exact same way. Shaw coming forward, Wilson immediately circling back and out. We've seen that a lot. The naked right hand from Melanie Shaw. There's the middle finger from Matilda Wilson.
Doesn't like how the referee's saying break, and Shaw's not listening.
How very un-Scandinavian of Matilda Wilson. Forward pressure from Shaw once more. Again into the clinch. Circling out, Wilson. Shaw moving forward, continually on a straight line. Now trying to mirror the hips of Matilda Wilson is Melanie Shaw.
Yeah, not much lateral movement by Shaw. She's just waiting for the right time. Linear coming straight forward, putting punches together.
Heavy damage you see on Melanie Shaw's face, but she has most definitely been the aggressor. She has controlled the pace, the movement of this fight. Wilson's face relatively clean. She has landed just like that with the left hand, largely while moving out, moving directly backwards.
Well, this fight right here is really going to tell the other fighters fighting tonight what the judges are looking for. Are they coming for pressure? Are they looking for clean, accurate punches? This is really going to let other fighters know how to fight the rest of the night.
In the right hand, there's a big right hand from Shaw. She has been relentless with that right hand, literally from the start of this fight off the scratch line. 20 seconds remaining, round 4.
So I'm betting if he said what's going to be your most important punch, Shaw's going to say right hand, straight right.
Continual right.
Oh, but look at that. I mean, she's taking a lot of damage to the face.
That's the end of round number 4. The two fighters reacting as though it was the end of the fight.
So that's what I was about to say. They know they're fighting another round, right?
Perhaps.
And right here, once again, just more of the same. A lot of straight punches coming forward for Melanie Shaw. A lot of counters being thrown by Wilson. As I said, both fighters have decided this is how they're going to fight the fight. They're not going to change it up. They're not going to adjust. They're just going to keep doing this. Obviously, I feel like both fighters probably feel like they're winning just to continue to do the same thing. Be very interesting to see the scorecard, Sean, since both guys or both fighters are doing the exact same thing. I mean, I wouldn't expect a split decision or close decision. You feel like whoever's winning has probably been winning most of the rounds, wouldn't you think?
It's the judges are either looking at Chris, the forward pressure of Melanie Shaw, those continual right hands, or the outside movement, the ring generalship, and those counter strikes of Matilda Wilson.
And she's doing a lot of damage. So is it the pressure or is it the damage being done? That's what we're going to find out.
5th and final round underway. Into the clinch, there's the right hand. Wilson's back put against the ring ropes. Again, the separation from referee Alan Jackson, who has been exceedingly busy in this fight. Straight right hand from Melanie Shaw. That backs off Matilda Wilson. Overhook snatched by Wilson. Forward pressure again from the center circle. Melanie Shaw with the left hand from the orthodox stance. You see the circling from Matilda Wilson. Staying long on the outside.
Continue in a circle right now. Be perfect kind of step forward that left hand. Get off first.
60 seconds remaining. 5th and final round. Again, the break from referee Alan Jackson. Jab to the body. Rare 1-2 from Melanie Shaw. With punches just off the mark, but it was the to the right hand that circled out Wilson once more. Some swelling now under Wilson's left eye, but you see that's really horrific swelling, especially above Melanie Shaw's left eye. Entry on the right hook. Overhand right from Shaw just misses.
When Wilson utilizes that lateral movement, she makes it a very difficult fight for Shaw. She cannot get into this position right here. When she gets tied up, it makes it more difficult.
Wilson snatched the overhook. That was the reason for the break from Alan Jackson. Stretch drive now of this women's flyweight fight. Heavy forward pressure from Melanie Shaw. But heavy damage on the face of Shaw. That is the end of the fight.
And Sean, usually when we talk to judges, the main thing they look at, the criteria, is supposed to be damage. So one would think that Wilson did more damage in that fight, but that's not always the case, and we've learned from judging sometimes. You never really understand exactly what the criteria is, but that's what it's supposed to be.
There are regional differences in the United States in judging. There are national differences country to country in judging. And so often, Chris, this is not just in bare knuckle, it's in all professional combative sports. Judges oftentimes in close rounds will look at who is pushing forward the pace, who is dictating with that forward pressure.
And that's one thing I've told fighters many times, is that in a close round, in a close fight, the guy pushing forward at the end usually is winning. So if it is close, you might need to make sure, especially down that stretch, you're pushing forward. Let's see if that holds true here.
So again, Melanie Shaw pushing forward throughout all 5 rounds, all 10 minutes, but Matilda Wilson proving relatively elusive, although you do see now some swelling in and around her left eye. But Wilson, excellent movement, excellent ring generalship, a lot of clean counters. Shaw, though, very active, very heavy with that right hand throughout. We shall see. Again, our 3 judges assigned by the ISKA. The tallying of those 3 judges' scorecards now.
Like, I could definitely see a split decision on this, but I think if it is split, I think both the judges are going to be pretty universal. Like, it might be 4-1 each judge. I mean, they're whatever happened continued to happen the whole time. So I can't see them being like 48-47. I could see it being like 50-45, you know. But it could be split. Who knows what the judges were looking for.
At the top of the hour, our main card begins. BKFC UK tonight from Newcastle. You can watch our main card live worldwide on the BKFC app.
And this is another dynamic right there where the husband is going to have to fight later. That's very interesting. He has to go out there, corner his wife, and then get ready to prepare for his own fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after completing the scheduled 5 rounds, here are the score totals from our judges at ringside. Our judges scored this fight 49-46 in favor of Wilson, 48-47 in favor of Shaw, and 48-47 to the winner by split decision, Melanie.
Well, there you go, Sean. Looks like they were really liking the forward pressure that Melanie Shaw was putting forth, pushing her opponent back. Weren't as concerned with the damage being done, but it was that forward pressure like we talked about. A lot of times in a close fight, it's whoever's pushing forward win that fight.
So after claims of 15 unsanctioned bare knuckle bouts, Melanie Shaw has her first sanctioned BK fight. And it's in the great promotion, the greatest in the sport of bare knuckle, BKFC. 3-2, 3-2 from the 2 ISKA judges in favor of Shaw. The dissenting judge seeing it 4 rounds to 1 in favor of Matilda Wilson. The winner by way of split decision, Melanie Shaw defeats Matilda Wilson. BKFC UK, live tonight from Newcastle, is presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, OnlyFans, Crescent Tools, and by 8-Man Strong.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Watch every live Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship pay-per-view event for only $4.99 per month. Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, still only $4.99 a month.
Crescent Tools brings you the number for this bout at 155 pounds. Lewis Keane versus Louis Sheriff.
And you can see here Louis Keane has a 7-inch reach advantage on his opponent. That means he wants to utilize that jab, keep his opponent away, make his opponent pay every time he steps forward to land his punches.
From Sunderland, England, Louis Sheriff. This is his promotional BKFC debut, as well as his first fight in the sport of bare knuckle. Told us that he's had 183 amateur boxing bouts.
And Sean, that is an enormous amount of experience to be in the ring right there. He should be very calm, very relaxed. I know this is a different sport, but just being in the ring, that translates over many times.
This is the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debut from the fighter here in Newcastle, England, Louis Keane. 1-0 overall for Keane in the sport of bare knuckle.
We talked about him having that big reach advantage. He's going to want to utilize that against the opponent who has 183 boxing matches. I know they're amateur, a little bit different, but he's going to want to utilize that reach, keeping his opponent at bay, making him work every time he steps forward. This isn't boxing with big gloves. This is bare knuckle. So every time Sheriff wants to step forward, he's going to want to land those punches to try and make him think twice about stepping forward.
Into the ring, here in his home city of Newcastle, comes Louis Keane.
He makes his BKFC debut, fighting out of Sunderland, England. Here is Louis Iron Sheriff. And across the ring is both fighting on the blue corner. Tonight he wears black trim and red camouflage. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, is officially 154.3 pounds. He holds an undefeated bare knuckle record at 1-0, fighting out of Newcastle, England. Here is Louis the Machine Keane. And our referee in charge of the action, Christie.
This is our third and final prelim. You're with us worldwide live. It's our Freeview BKFC. Top of the hour, our main card begins live on the BKFC app. Round number 1. Black trunks for Louis Keane, white trunks for Louis Sheriff. Double overhooks immediately snatched by Louis Keane. Quick separation, referee Chris Batcheldor right back to it. King his head, throwing the right hand at Sheriff. It's high and tight for Louis Sheriff. See the big bounce in this step of Louis Keane looking to enter the pocket. Right hand from Keane, right back to the outside. Left hook not getting through from Sheriff. That was definitely blocked.
Like we talked about earlier, Sheriff does seem very relaxed. 183 amateur fights are paying him well right now.
Feint on the jab from Sheriff. Slightly more open striking guard for Sheriff than you see from Keane. 105 remaining, round number 1 of this lightweight bout. 1-2 not there from Sheriff. Left to the body from Keane, that was clever. Jabbed in the overhand, right not there from Sheriff. Coming back to the inside. Chris, already we're seeing the pattern of Lewis Keane. Outside, throw the combo on the inside, right back out.
Very smart. He's got the reach. Why not utilize it? We always talk about that. The reach is a great thing if you know how to use it. He wants to stay on the outside. Got the reach, use it.
Up to the body from Keane. Sheriff, fast on the jab, then back to the outside. Louis Sheriff, you can feel him slowly turning up the temperature, working his way methodically into this fight. Double overhooks, immediate separation for referee Chris Batcheldor.
With this being his first bare knuckle fight, it takes a minute to get your feet wet, get used to it. He should continue to open up as the fight goes on, Sean.
That is the end of round one. Again at the top of the hour, our main card begins. We're Walker Activity Dome in the north of England, in the great city of Newcastle. The way to watch our main card is on the BKFC app.
And in that round, Sean, you saw a lot more activity, a lot more movement right there by Lewis Keane, bouncing around quite a bit, trying to get in the right position, utilize that reach he had, and it took Sheriff a minute to get going. I feel like as that round went on, though, he continued to progressively get better. So there's that movement I keep talking about, that bouncing, I should say. Just a lot more active was Lewis Keane, but
both fighters eagerly up to scratch, waiting the start of round number two. Excess moisture spotted on the canvas by referee Chris Batcheldor. Issue resolved. Now round number two. Pulling out the jab off the scratch line to start the second round, Lewis Keane. Sheriff sitting back, right hand loaded. To the entry overhand left on the duck under. Short left hand and the right hand from Keane.
That was a great job by Keane. Stepped out that lead foot, and that opens that up where he can land clean punches and can't get returned.
Right hand, down goes Louis Sheriff.
Louis Sheriff is getting into the right position, but he's not throwing the punches. You can't get inside. That's where you want to be. You have to throw punches when you get in there because you're paying the price to get there.
Mandatory 8 count from referee Chris Batcheldor. Right back to it. Staying on the outside, bouncing to step. Keane exploding to the inside, and that's knockdown number 2. Ruled as a slip by referee Chris Batcheldor.
Wow.
Right hand on the counter. Keane stumbled back, did not go down.
That was a great counter right there. Just waited for his opponent to come in.
Big left hand, that's a clean knockdown. And you see Sheriff pulling out his mouthpiece. That's usually a terrible sign for a fighter. Up at 8. Batcheldor putting the mouthpiece right back in. That was Sheriff's attempt to buy time. It did not work. Two knockdowns now recorded officially here in round number 2 by Lewis Keane.
Great job by Keane there. He got rocked, he came right back and knocked his opponent down.
Jab from Sheriff, right hand, that's knockdown number 3. And again, pulling out his mouthpiece is Sheriff.
Great job right now by Keane. You can tell your opponent when he's pulling out that mouthpiece, that's that tell. He does not want to be in there too much anymore. So you need to jump all over him right now.
Final seconds, round number 2. A huge second round for Lewis Keane.
Lewis Keane needs to try to get one more good punch, see if he can end the fight right now.
Presumably a 10-6 round with those 3 knockdowns recorded by Keane. We move to the 3rd round.
I said that, you talked about that, pulling out the mouthpiece. Totally agree with you, Sean. That is a tell right there. You can tell his opponent right now, Sheriff, does not like what's going on in there. You need to jump all over him right now. He's giving you that tell. Give him the reason to go ahead and stop the fight right now. Give him every reason in the world. You're jumping all over him. This is not going to be a fun night for you. Just go ahead and let's stop this right now.
Again, scan the QR code on your screen. Top of the hour, our main card begins. BKFC UK from Newcastle. Huge second round, Chris, for Lewis Keane.
It was the first knockdown right there. And there was that big right hand. Knocked Keane back, but Keane did a great job, took that and came right back. Nice left hand right there. And here's where the mouthpiece comes out, Sean. Threw it down. Good job by the referee. No, you're not buying any time right here. I'm putting it right back in.
The start of round number 3. And we'll watch the patience of referee Chris Batcheldor. If Keane starts this round strong, again, knowing that Sheriff has been down 3 times in this second round.
Keane's just got to watch out. He knows that big right hand is cocked and loaded and ready to go. If he can avoid that right hand and get into his position, step to the outside of that lead foot, step to his right.
Step in right hand from Sheriff, not fully there. Again, this has been masterful from Keane. Outside, 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 exploding to the inside, right back out. Does it on cue.
And you see he steps outside that lead foot, that right foot, and when he gets that angle, he can land the clean punches and his opponent cannot.
There's the uppercut. There is knockdown number 4. And again, Sheriff, for the 3rd time in 4 knockdowns, pulls out his mouthpiece.
Right now, if I'm Keane, I'm jumping all over my opponent. You can tell he does not want to be in there anymore.
Keane can most definitely see the finish line, trying to reach it here with 50 seconds remaining, round number 3. Feint on the right hand from Sheriff. Sheriff almost taking himself to the canvas, rule to slip right back to it.
Keane, look at that. Look how far out his right foot. He's stepping to the outside. That means that straight left is there or the body punches.
To the inside, right hand, the knee down on the canvas. That's knockdown number 5.
Every time Keane gets outside, he's landing a big punch and his opponent's going down.
Up at 9. 5 knockdowns recorded by Lewis Keane. The right hand, and that's knockdown number 6 on the delayed reaction. And that is the end of the fight. Dominant from Lewis Keane, now 2-0 in the sport of bare knuckle and 1-0 in BKFC.
And we knew it was just a matter of time. The referee was only going to let that go on for so long. As soon as you continue to take that mouthpiece out, you keep taking a knee every time you get a good punch landed on you. He's just looking for your safety. He can tell right there from that language, you don't want to be in there anymore, so he's going to stop it.
6 knockdowns recorded by Lewis Keane versus Louis Sheriff. 3 in round 2 and 3 here in round number 3.
Very impressed right there with Keane. He did very poised, very accurate with his punches. Knew to step outside that foot and get the angle where you cannot get hit. You can land your punches and don't have to worry about the opponent firing it back. Great victory for Keane right there. He's 2-0 bare knuckle now. However, he looked much more polished, much more experienced in 2-0 to me, Sean.
Louis Sheriff, early stages of this fight, you could see shades of his amateur boxing pedigree, staying on the outside, moving, but he simply did not have any answers, and this is bare knuckle debut for Lewis Keane's explosions continually from the outside to the inside. 6-0 on knockdowns in favor of Keane all the way to the finish. Sheriff kept getting up, but then referee Chris Batcheldor ended the fight with that 6th knockdown. The winner by way of 3rd round TKO, Lewis Keane defeats Louis Sheriff.
Welcome to the new BKFC app. Watch every live bare knuckle fighting championship pay-per-view event for only $4.99 per month. Enjoy our all-new library of content, including behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live bare-knuckle fights from around the globe. Knuckle up with the new BKFC app, still only $4.99 a month.
I am that much better. I am the face. I am here now because I am the undefeated, undisputed champion of the world.
Down goes Josh Wright for the second time in round two. Tom Show just keeps on rolling. That's a legitimate knockdown. Diaz on the canvas again. And flat on his back goes David Simpson. Mouthpiece out.
ha.